Have you ever felt exhausted from trying to hold on to a fading relationship? Whether you're nurturing a budding romance, facing the coldness of a long-term partner, or trying to mend a fractured friendship, convincing someone to stay can sometimes feel like grasping at sand. No matter how tightly you clench your fist, it slips through your fingers. This is the paradox of trying too hard to keep someone. It leaves us tired, wounded, and disconnected from ourselves. It's time to let go of this exhaustion and allow our hearts and minds to find freedom. Today, we'll delve into an ancient philosophy that remains relevant even today: Stoicism. Can principles from thousands of years ago help us navigate the complexities of modern relationships? Let Stoicism illuminate your path. But before we embark on this journey, promise me you'll watch this video till the end and leave a comment saying, "I am independent." Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on future valuable content. Now, let's step into the world of freedom and inner peace together. One very important thing I want to share with you today is this: never let the fear of losing them control your behavior. This not only affects your mind, but also causes you to lose your freedom and self-determination. According to Stoic philosophy, letting emotions dictate your actions is not the path to happiness and peace. We cannot possess other people. Therefore, there is nothing truly to lose. Ancient Stoics advised people to focus on what they can control and let go of what is beyond their grasp. In relationships, we are often caught up in the belief that the other person belongs to us. However, the truth is that you do not own them. Everyone has the right to freedom and the ability to decide their own life. Therefore, trying to control or fearing the loss of them is meaningless. In reality, a relationship only truly exists when both parties willingly choose to be with each other. If you are holding on to them just because you fear losing them, you're going against the Stoic spirit, the spirit of self-control, not being dependent on external factors. By letting go of the idea of possession and accepting that a relationship is just a part of life, not its entirety, you'll find freedom in your mind and in your love. The fear of loss, if not kept in check, will turn you into someone who clings and suffers. You may fall into a state of anxiety, constantly fearing that you are not good enough or not doing enough to keep them around. From the Stoic perspective, this is a major mistake. Epictetus once said, "What disturbs men's minds is not events, but their judgments on events." If you allow the fear of losing them to shape your actions, you are creating pain and insecurity for yourself. For example, if you constantly fear that they will leave, you might start unconsciously changing yourself to please them. You might abandon personal interests, change the way you dress, or even suppress your true thoughts and feelings. This not only diminishes your own value, but also makes the relationship unbalanced. Stoicism teaches us that true value lies within yourself, in authenticity, independence, and self-control. The second thing you need to remember is that to build a sustainable relationship, one of the most important principles according to Stoic philosophy is to maintain a source of positive and steadfast energy from within. Stoicism teaches that you should focus on what is within your control, your emotions, attitudes, and behavior, rather than getting caught up in things you cannot control, such as the thoughts and actions of others. When you naturally spread joy and optimism, you not only create attraction, but also inspire others to want to be close to you. This is because humans by nature are drawn to positive experiences and people who provide a sense of comfort. When you consistently exhibit joy and ease from within yourself, you become someone with whom they feel their life becomes richer and more worthwhile when you're around. Marcus Aurelius once said, The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By keeping your mind positive and filled with hope, you not only live a meaningful life, but also become someone others want in their lives. If you continuously bring positivity and genuine joy, they will gradually realize that their life becomes better with your presence and will not want to lose that. That is when they begin to think, I need this person. However, Stoicism also teaches us to avoid placing others on a pedestal, seeing them as the center of the universe or the sole source of happiness. Doing so diminishes your value and makes you dependent, causing the relationship to become unbalanced. Instead, always keep control of your emotions, not allowing anyone to become the center of your life. By ensuring that your happiness is always present and independent of others, you become a person of value in their eyes. They will see you as a strong, independent individual who is not easily influenced, and thus will appreciate you even more. As Seneca emphasized, happiness is not in the having, it is in the perceiving and managing what you have. True positivity and happiness come from within, not from pleasing others or sacrificing yourself to gain their attention. When you feel good about yourself, you won't need to pretend or try to change yourself to keep someone. This does not only diminish your own value, but also makes the relationship less authentic and balanced. When you are confident, self-sufficient, and happy with your life, you become someone they want to commit to. Therefore, always display positive energy and stay true to yourself. Let happiness shine from within you. This will not only help you attract the right person, but also build a strong and meaningful relationship, one based on freedom, respect, and authenticity, the core values of Stoic philosophy. The third method, which is somewhat more radical, is for those who tend to give too much love, affection, and attention to the person they are trying to pursue. If you feel that nothing seems to be working even though you have given your all, then I advise you to stop giving altogether. Yes, you heard that right. There is a method based on non-action. According to the book Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini, a renowned American psychologist, people, especially they, need to feel the desire to conquer their partner. In other words, the kinder you are, the less committed they become. To explain this more clearly, consider a relationship where you give all your attention, love, and care to the other person without expecting or demanding anything in return. You might think that this will make them appreciate and love you more, but in reality, it's often not the case. When things come too easily, people tend to undervalue them. If you're always available, always easygoing, and never a challenge, you unintentionally lower your value in their eyes. Stoicism teaches that what is obtained too easily is not cherished. This is a natural rule in human relationships. While society often glorifies romantic tales from Walt Disney or Hollywood, where love is always demonstrated through grand gestures and personal sacrifices, the truth is that this approach does not always work. A specific example is when you stop being proactive in the relationship, you might feel like you are losing control or are no longer as loved as before. However, this non-action sometimes creates space for the other person to feel the need to act and make an effort to maintain the relationship. When you no longer chase but instead allow them to feel freely, they have the chance to realize how important and valuable the relationship is to them. For instance, imagine a relationship where you are always the one to initiate contact, plan meetups, and express affection. If the other person is not equally invested and only takes without giving, your enthusiasm and love will gradually become too easy and no longer excite them. Instead of encouraging them to commit, it makes them feel that there is no need to make an effort. Try taking a step back. Don't send the first message. Don't always be the one to take the initiative. You will notice the difference when they start to question, "Have I lost them?" Or, "Why are they no longer as interested as before?" At this point, they may start to become aware of your presence and importance in their life. Robert Cialdini has pointed out that people, especially in romantic relationships, tend to desire what is hard to attain. When they feel that you're no longer entirely within their grasp, they will recognize your value more. This doesn't mean that you should become cold or distant in a negative way, but rather that you should know when to stop and not always feel the need to prove your worth. Give them space to feel the need to pursue and prove themselves. When you are no longer giving unconditionally, they will realize that to keep you close, they need to make more effort. The truth is, temporarily stopping giving may be the best way to create balance in the relationship and help them realize that you are worth cherishing. Sometimes doing nothing can be the most powerful action. Let them have the opportunity to show that they genuinely want you in their life. This will help both parties build a more sustainable relationship where both sides are equally committed and motivated to maintain it. The fourth thing I want you to know is that when you are in a relationship and feeling tense or insecure, especially during a conflict, texting immediately to resolve the issue or express your emotions can lead to unwanted results. Stop, because this is a recipe for disaster. Indeed, the impulsiveness of responding can create misunderstandings and make the situation worse. In love, we often act based on emotions and forget that sometimes we need to pause and think before we act. First, imagine you are arguing with your partner via text. During a conflict, emotions like anger, anxiety, and fear easily control your actions. You may feel an urge to text immediately to defend your point of view, explain yourself more clearly, or simply vent your frustration. However, in these moments, texts often become sharp, heated, and filled with negative emotions. Words cannot fully convey tone or true intent, leading to both sides easily misunderstanding each other, making the conflict more complicated. Instead of finding a solution, you might make everything more tense and difficult. A typical example is when you're trying to explain your personal point of view via text after an argument. While you only want to clarify your stance, the other person may read the message in a different tone, misunderstanding you as blaming or criticizing. This can lead to a new argument, possibly even more intense than before. Instead of achieving mutual understanding, the distance between the two of you grows wider. This is why it is so important to stop and refrain from texting when feeling angry or anxious. Next, consider the situation when you are afraid or worried that the other person no longer loves you. You may feel compelled to keep texting to check on their feelings or seek reassurance. However, these actions often create a sense of suffocation and pressure for the other person. A specific example is when you send a barrage of messages just because they didn't reply immediately. This not only makes you appear insecure, but also makes them feel a loss of freedom and being monitored. As a result, they may feel uncomfortable or want to withdraw from the relationship, which is exactly what you are trying to avoid. In such moments, it is important to pause and take a deep breath. Find a quiet space to calm down and ask yourself if these feelings are really worth an immediate reaction. Sometimes patience and silence can be the best strategy to handle a conflict. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "Never act when you are angry." This is valuable advice in any relationship. When you stop texting and give yourself time to reflect, you may find that what you wanted to say immediately may no longer be as important or appropriate as you initially thought. Additionally, when you pause, you allow the other person time to calm down and reassess the situation. Sometimes creating some distance allows both sides the opportunity to think more carefully about the situation and find a more effective solution. This can lead to a more mature conversation where both can share their feelings and thoughts calmly and respectfully. Finally, remember that you don't always need to respond immediately. In love, patience and the ability to control your emotions are important factors in maintaining balance and mutual respect. Learn to stop when you feel angry, scared, or worried. Sometimes, doing nothing can be the first step toward resolving conflict effectively and building a stronger, more enduring relationship. The fifth thing, according to Stoic philosophy, is that an important part of happiness is knowing how to accept what lies beyond our control. Love, like everything else in life, can never be completely in our hands. You cannot control the thoughts, emotions, or actions of others, nor can you be certain that their love for you will last forever. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "Do not seek happiness in things that are beyond your control." Letting go in love means accepting this reality and learning to love unconditionally, without demanding or expecting anything in return. Imagine a relationship where you constantly try to control every action of the other person because you fear they will leave. You might frequently text, check up on them, or demand that they always meet your emotional needs. At first, you might feel secure in receiving their attention, but over time, this becomes a burden for both of you. The other person feels a loss of freedom and gradually begins to distance themselves. You feel even more insecure, and the cycle of anxiety and control continues. This is not the kind of love Stoic philosophy advocates. It is merely obsession and dependence. In contrast, when you practice letting go, you choose to love freely and without attachment. You understand that true love is not about possession, but about mutual sharing and respect. When you stop trying to control others, you allow yourself and the other person the space to breathe, to grow, and to exist as independent individuals. This does not mean you do not care or love. On the contrary, it shows that you respect personal freedom and do not wish to impose yourself on another person. A specific example of the power of letting go in love is when you stop trying to change the other person to fit your desires. You may feel that they are not close enough or do not meet your needs. However, instead of forcing them to change, you accept them as they are. This acceptance creates a sense of peace and freedom for both sides. The other person will not feel pressured to change to please you, and you will no longer feel disappointed whenever your expectations aren't met. As Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer not because things happen this way or that way, but because we have decided that they should happen in a different way." When you let go, you also let go of the suffering you have created for yourself. Letting go in love does not mean you are abandoning the relationship or that you no longer care about the other person. Instead, it allows you to love more sincerely, focusing on personal growth in the relationship without being controlled by negative emotions like jealousy, anxiety, or fear. When you let go, you also free the other person from unrealistic expectations, allowing them to love you naturally and without constraints. When you accept letting go, you also learn to love without attachment to outcomes. You no longer demand that love provide you with security or fulfill personal needs. Instead, you love because you choose to love, because you value the other person as an independent human being, and because you understand that true happiness is not found in controlling others, but in your own freedom and peace. Ultimately, the power of letting go in love, according to Stoic philosophy, lies in the ability to accept and appreciate the relationship in the present without imposing future expectations. When you practice letting go, you find a love that is more genuine, deeper, and freer. A love that is not confined by the invisible strings of control and dependency. Dear friends, the final powerful element in our Stoic magnet formula is a simple yet profoundly important one. Value your time. If you don't value your own time, why should anyone else? Time is the most precious asset you have. Once it is gone, there is no way to get it back. So, why waste it on people who do not appreciate your worth? Imagine this. You keep texting someone, waiting for their response, rearranging your schedule just to fit theirs, or worse, sitting there and hoping. You spend your time, energy, and emotions on someone who does not reciprocate your interest, who does not value your presence. What are you doing with your time? This is not how a Stoic would act. Stoics understand that their time is incredibly valuable and cannot be wasted on those who do not see their true worth. Stoic philosophy encourages us to live in the present, not to be haunted by the past or worried about the future. It teaches us that time should not only be valued, but also used wisely. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "We live not in a moment, but throughout our entire life." This means that every moment you experience should be seen as part of the whole of your life. So why let a part of that life be wasted on people who are not worth it? Think about what else you could be doing with the time you are currently spending chasing a relationship that brings no positive outcome. You could invest in yourself, learn a new skill, read books, exercise, or simply relax and take care of your mental health. These activities not only help you grow, but also add real value to your life. When you value your time, you naturally become more attractive in the eyes of others. People are drawn to those who know their own worth and do not easily give away their precious time. A prime example is someone who knows how to allocate time to what truly matters. Instead of trying to please someone by waiting or changing their schedule, they know how to maintain personal priorities. When others see that you respect your own time, they begin to realize that you are a valuable person. And if they want to be part of your life, they also need to invest and make an effort. This is the power of self-respect and self-esteem, two qualities that Stoicism emphasizes. Moreover, when you know how to value your time, you set healthy boundaries in your relationships. You are not easily drawn into psychological games or purposeless actions. You understand that when others do not respond, it is not your problem. It is their choice. And because you know the value of time, you will not allow their inconsistent actions to affect your mindset. Instead, you focus your attention on things that are more deserving. Valuing your time is also a way to teach others how you want to be treated. If you are always ready to wait or constantly change your plans, you send the message that your time is not important, that others can disregard it. But if you know how to value it, others will have to respect you more and will not dare to waste your time unnecessarily. Finally, remember that you are the only one who controls your time. Do not let others decide its value. Use your time to do things you love, to develop yourself, and to live a meaningful life. Do not let anyone waste your most precious asset. In both love and life, when you know how to value your time, you will create stronger, more meaningful relationships, relationships that are truly worth your time.